Welcome back, travelers. Let's talk about Palia and what's going on with it. One, let's address the colorway issue. If you don't know what happened, which I highly doubt if you're watching this video, Palia advertised their .187 holiday homestead update as having hundreds of enabled decor tints available on the modification bench. They also showcased a preview of this on their social media, and there was new colorways, as in colorways we don't have yet, including a brown, a cream with like a lavender pink highlight, and a blue with a yellow highlight, which is different than the current blue we have. There's also a black and white option. So the majority of users that are decor focused users, which when you hit end game of Palia, at least current end game, decorating is really all you have to do. We're all very excited about the opportunity to finally go in and redo pretty much their whole home because colors make a huge difference. Only to find out that on update day, there were no new colors. But you could put old colors on previously uncustomizable furniture, which is not the way they stated the update preview or the at a glance section in the patch notes themselves. Even the detailed part of the patch notes was confusing to say the least. In English, it said that tints had been added to hundreds of decor, but if you add up all the decor that's been listed, you barely break 150. And even if you were to say, well, every item can be customized into 4 different colors now, and each color counts as an option, one, that's ridiculous. No one is going to think that way. And two, you still break maybe 250. So the outcome of this was a lot of angry players, or at least disappointed and confused. Even if you want to argue that not everyone thought that was going to be happening, you can tell it was the majority because people were in the game servers asking, how do you access the new colors? They were in the Discord going, where's the colorways? And on social media complaining that the update didn't give them what they expected to be given. So what happened? Well, the problem is we don't know. The team went on holiday like most teams because it was so close to Christmas. And to be fair, their focus probably isn't going to be on adding the colorways when the whole game has glitches and things that need to be addressed. And I think that's very valid. And the problem doesn't actually come from the fact that we weren't given new colors. It's that we feel lied to. This isn't the first time that Palia has done an update where they've shown us something that we cannot get in the actual game, but is in the preview of the update. So users are used to seeing things that hopefully one day we'll get in the future, but we're not going to get now. I genuinely don't think it would have been an issue if the furniture had shown new colors because it could have been a little hint towards something in the future. The problem came when they worded it really poorly. If they had just said, you can now customize previously uncustomizable furniture and then showed that image, things would not have gone this way. So how can they fix this issue now? Well, even if they can't implement the colors for whatever reason, which I'll talk about in a minute, I think that they should at least address the community and say, we're really sorry. We didn't realize that the wording we used with the combination of this image was going to cause such a confusion. These are colors we want to implement in the game in the future, but don't have the ability to do so right now. And then just maybe give all the players 100 customized kits. They're really expensive, and people that decorate would enjoy the fact that they don't have to spend their gold on them. Which leads me into the next point, communication. I think the biggest issue with Palia as a whole is not necessarily the game being broken. Yes, that is a big deal, but the game is still in beta, so there should be an expectation for things to go wrong. But the team doesn't communicate with the community in a way that makes sense, at least not to me. So how can they communicate better with the community? Well, for one, don't solely rely on Discord as a way to communicate, especially in a random channel that's just called discussions. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate that there's a team member constantly going in, checking in on what people are saying and responding with as much energy as they can possibly muster, which I have to imagine they are exhausted. But very few people are going to sift through all of those messages over the course of a month to find the answer to what they need. And there's a lot of good information in there. They talk about how when you implement a hotfix, it's not just about the team, it's about the platform you're implementing the hotfix on. For example, if you want to implement a game hotfix on Steam, Steam also has to be available as a company to do that. And if Steam is on holiday vacation, then Palia can't do anything. And if Nintendo is on holiday vacation, again, Palia can't do anything. So, why is there not a better way to find that? Why is there not even just a Discord channel with basic information like that? Especially if the community is constantly complaining. Because we all know humans love to complain when they're upset rather than rejoice when they're happy. But that's where a more robust community team would come in. Which is the next point, that the team is really small for such a big game. And that's probably why we're seeing an influx and push for premium items. Because when Palia came out, they said they would never make the game pay to play, at least pay to win. So they need to make money somehow. And premium is the way they're going to be doing that. Which a lot of people are upset that the updates seem to be primarily focused on new premium outfits and not game update implementations or quality of life. But I genuinely do think that we forget a lot of what Palia has already given us because we are a fast-moving society and we just want more and more. Did they implement a lot of things in a way that I don't think made sense? Sure. Which leads me into my next point of, is Palia just succumbing to the community's random requests rather than focusing on what should be focused on? Because even I'm definitely guilty of that. I want a dark green colorway pretty much more than I want the Elderwoods. That's a lie. I'm really excited for the Elderwoods. But my point stands. There are so many issues in the game that we don't even see. And that's not to say the game is broken. But if one problem exists, one glitch, there's probably 27 reasons why it's happening. And then when you fix one of those, it breaks 3 other things. That's just how technology works. So I do think that the community as a whole does need to have more patience and understanding that there's a whole world behind the scenes we don't see and for legal reasons cannot see. Now, am I saying that they have no blame and no responsibilities? Absolutely not. Their communication for sure needs to change. They cannot just post random stuff to social media and then have complete full conversations with details in a random Discord channel no one is going to see. For the sake of the game and its representation to its community, there really does need to be a dev blog that addresses things that have come up over the course of, 2 to 3 months. Even if that dev blog were to say, hey, Palians, we're going to focus more on fixing issues within the game than updating new things within the game for the next 3 to 6 months. So we hope that you love hanging out, gathering resources, and having cooking parties with your friends while we get the game a little bit more stable. And let us know that you're still going to be implementing premium outfits because that's where the money in the game is. We all know this. We know it's a free-to-play game, which again, I think we should be honestly kind of grateful. It is a free-to-play game. Yes, the updates are premium focused, but you don't have to buy them. The too long didn't watch for this video is that we're all upset the colorways didn't get implemented, but we're more upset that the communication seems to be all over the place. And with always pushing premium outfits and not many fixes, we feel like we're not being heard. And the game that we all love, which is why we're so critical of it, we fear it's going to fail. Which I will say, it's not going to fail. Palia is nowhere near ending, dying, whatever you want to call it. The best thing that you can do is be vocal about the changes you want, use the correct avenues for it, and support the game monetarily when and if you want to. And at the end of the day, if Palia is no longer bringing you joy, put it away. Log out. It's sad when you put a lot of hours into a game and even money and then it doesn't bring you joy anymore. But I'm sure there's tons of us who played Animal Crossing and then put it down. Some of us might have even played World of Warcraft and spent lots of money on the subscription and then just kind of fell off of it. It wouldn't be the first time that that's happened with an open world game with an online service. And you can always come back later. But maybe you completely disagree with my opinions, or I've missed a very important point that you want to make. And that's what the comment section is for. As always, please use critical thinking and think before you type. Reread your messages. And if you're writing something in anger, write it out, take a breath, reread it before clicking submit. I've also linked Palia's support down below in the details, so if you do have a glitch in your game and you want to report it and haven't done so, the tool is right there for you. Be good to each other, like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you feel like it, but most importantly, have a very magical day.